YouTube, what's going on? I am finally healed from a cold, sickness, COVID, who the heck knows. But it basically means my voice is back. My voice was gone for a while, so I couldn't make these videos, but I wanted to. But now, I'm mostly recovered. So anyway, today's video, if you couldn't already tell by the title and the thumbnail, probably when you clicked the video, today I'm going to be ranking the top 10 most important resources in Last Shelter. So this might be a long one, but strap in, stay tuned. Some of the stuff might surprise you. I think there will be some controversy around some of the resource rankings. Now, the resources basically mean stuff in your inventory. They did just come out with an update where you can sort this stuff a little bit now. There's not much sorting. It's kind of weird, but regardless, whatever. Coming in at number 10, we have base skins, APC skins, and landscapes. I'm pretty much categorizing them together. So decor and landscape. If you had to pick one or the other, I think landscape is a little bit worse. Decor is a little bit better. At least it looks better. Other players can see it. The landscape, nobody can really see it. So nowadays, skins actually provide a good number of stats, or some honestly really strong stats. As you can see here, I'm getting 8 might, 5 troop HP just from my base skin. There are, I guess the shield thing doesn't do anything. But the pendant, 4 might, 4 HP, so that's what? 12 might, 9 HP. The wings, fighter might 20. I don't even know, flame thing, 8 HP. The teleport, I don't think does anything. Maybe they do, and I just don't have one. They probably do. And then the kind of pendant or whatever. I guess actually no, this is the plain thing that I actually don't really use much. It does give you an extra skill, but it doesn't really matter. More stats. So overall, I mean, you do get a fair amount of stats. This is just for the base. There's also the APC stuff. You get more. You get more stats in here as well. There's the albums. Whoops, sorry. There's the albums in here where you actually end up getting quite a lot of stats. It's not unheard of to look at battle reports and see people with 150 extra might, 100 extra resistance, 50 extra HP. Okay, maybe that's crazy, but and so on. The landscapes themselves can give pretty good rewards as well, or pretty good benefits as well. So weakened damage mitigation, for example, 3%. That's a really strong one. There are some good landscapes as well. So you can get some decent stats, but the cost required for this is absolutely insane. Nowadays, skins are costing, with the treasure hunter events and just ultra rare skins like the teleport skins and the satellites and that helicopter thing that I showed before. They're very expensive. It's not unheard of to be spending thousands of dollars for these things. And from the amount of sets that you get, it's just absolutely not worth it. So that's why they are number 10, the least important resource in the game. Players who have that 150, 200, whatever extra, stats are spending like hundreds of thousands of dollars, 50,000 to hundreds of thousands of dollars. So it's actually insane. It's basically just whale bait territory, but that's totally fine. Coming in at number 9, we have titanium. Now, this is not titanium alloy, so not part of the new Baneblade, but this is what's required for basically upgrading your buildings beyond level 25. Now, you do get some benefits when you upgrade, like the base, obviously. That's really the only big one. It allows you to go deeper into the yesterday tech. You can also upgrade some of the combat buildings as well, like combat readiness and some of these other things here for extra stats. But overall, it's not really like a big deal. Like you might get some extra stats, but it's almost nothing. So titanium, while yes, it's good, obviously upgrade it as you can. Kill every Magnus that you can. It's not something that I would be buying packs for anytime soon. Coming in at number 8, we have iron plates. Now, iron plates are cool. They kind of do what they're supposed to do. It's just they're not that important. Let's be real. They're pretty similar, I guess, in terms of like some other resource, but I just feel like the hero parts aren't really necessary for combat. A lot of the other stuff gives you just better rewards than some of this stuff. And in order to get like actual huge benefits, you're going to basically need all of your heroes to have very, very, very high equipment. Very high meaning like 4-star equipment. Whereas most people can basically free to play get 2 stars. You don't really need the special alloy stuff like this. It becomes very, very expensive. I have a whole video on the hero equipment stuff. It is a very good system. Every resource in here is very good. It's just when you're considering like the most important resources to pick, basically. If you just had, the opportunity to buy one pack or one resource, this is not going to be it. You don't really want the iron plate stuff. Also, it's a cool system. You can get it all for free, basically, just from doing, I don't even know, random activities throughout the game. Number 7, we have mech data. So mech data, I basically just mean the weapon stuff. The purple weapon stuff in the Heimdall thing here that you can just buy. Again, you do get good rewards. If you're leveling up your mechs very, very high, you're going to get a lot of stats. If you have very strong weapons, it is nice. But the difference between somebody who is spending all their money on mech data and somebody who is spending their money on some of the items ranked higher is pretty significant. The people who are buying the mech data are going to be weaker. That's just kind of how it is. It's still a very good resource to get. Anytime you acquire mech data, you should be pretty happy. Granted, it's like you'll get 500 and you need like millions, but regardless, you should be pretty happy. Eventually, when you get your mechs up to a certain point, you kind of hit like a plateau. In the beginning, it's really, really strong. You get a lot of stats very, very quickly, just like most of the systems in here. Eventually, you hit a plateau, and then pretty much you're just saving up all of your mech battle data for weapon events, or you're just upgrading your mechs incredibly slowly, like very, very, very slowly. So, mech data. Sorry, but you're number 7. Number 6, we have polymers and decay energy. I'm kind of classifying them together. Basically, the reconstruction lab stuff. Now, this one might be the start of the controversy here. I am also considering flexibilities in this, and people might not be considering that because it's not necessarily a resource, but flexibilities are something that can influence the battle a lot. And that's why I have polymers and decay so high. For example, you can get 30% skill damage just from your, just from using basic polymers. And you can do this on every single hero. That's enormous amounts of stats, or, damage or might or whatever it is. It's very, very strong. But again, the flexibilities are where things really, really shine, especially if you're getting super strong ones like Fight On or the new flexibilities like Armor Piercer, Quick Reloading. They're really, really good. It's hard to sort of compare like might to something like this. But for example, this damage mitigation is 40%. This is huge. This is really, really big. If we looked at the landscape and the decor stuff, for example, I was saying that it was good to be getting 3% reduced damage mitigation. This is 40%. You're also getting extra troops. Extra troops are just good overall. It's good for survivability, and it's actually good for damage. Coupled with, the ability to have, I don't even know, something like this, an enhanced counterattack or defense attack where you're getting just extra damage. It's very strong. The Hopeness Lab is not something to ignore. You'll see battle reports where you're like, how the heck did this guy win? And if you go into it, you might see that they have a really, really strong flexibility or something like that. And you might not. Nightmare is really good. There's a lot of strong flexibilities. I feel like eventually this system, while yes, they are probably gaining a little bit of money on the flexibilities, I think they might be doing some cash cash grab version with the hope to stop fairly soon. I'm not sure when, but I could just see it coming. They don't currently make a ton of money off of this system here. And again, you can do this for like so many heroes. You can do this pretty free to play, to be honest. At least the polymer version. Some of the flex abilities will be harder to get, especially gold. But it's still a pretty nice free to play system, and for that it gets a thumbs up. All right, number 5, we have red cores. I'm also including the new titanium alloy stuff. Now, I don't really necessarily have the full math on the titanium alloy. I do have videos on that. You can go in the channel and check it out. I've interpolated a lot of the math and a lot of the benefits that you get. But in general, to basically talking about Beyblade, right? So red cores, titanium alloy, dynamo boosters, advanced titanium alloy for this stuff here. This stuff is pretty solid. You actually get very good stats when you level all of this up. And it's not insanely expensive. A lot of the stuff, higher up in this list becomes very, very expensive. Now, a lot of older players will be like, red cores, schmed cores. But if you consider having Baneblade versus not having Baneblade, the person with Baneblade will win literally every single time. It's not even close. I have never in my entire career seen someone lose with Baneblade versus someone without Baneblade. So I'm considering that as a big factor as well. Now people have like 6, 7, even more Baneblade sets on their bases, a lot of the older players. So it's like, red cores, whatever, who cares? But you really have to remember when Baneblade came out, remember how important it was to get over that hump, to get 1 set, 2 sets, 3 sets. It's really, really, really huge. So while it might not be something that older players are buying, newer players will be buying this, or like should prioritize buying the red cores, at least to get 1 Baneblade set. And then from there, you'll collect it over time. Granted, when Baneblade came out, the opportunities to get red cores was way, way, way lower. There's so many more avenues of collecting red cores, but regardless, it's still the Baneblade stuff in general is still incredibly strong. You can see here some of the stats that we're getting as we start enhancing. You also get some crazy stuff over here eventually. Now this is the pay to win side of things, like equipping 6 level 60 10 stars. This stuff gets kind of crazy, but there are a bunch of like skills and things like that as well, so doesn't really matter. Now, coming in at number 4, and I think this will be the most controversial thing, USB. Now, most people are going to have USB as like their number 1. I'm putting it at number 4, and you might be surprised to see a number 4, or at least not even top 3. It is a very, very strong resource. It gives large stat increases. Some of the stats are very rare, or it's hard to get otherwise. But the reason why USB is not higher on the list is because there is so much useless USB that you basically are required to get through in order to upgrade to the good ones. Siege Attacker Might Have Squad with Shooter. This is not even like the worst one you can get. I don't even know. Like group combat, a lot of this stuff is completely useless. Legion stuff doesn't even work anymore. Rallied missiles, that's not a thing. That's like a thing of the Total War long past. There's battlefield stuff here, which is, that may be 1% of the gameplay. Maybe 5% of the gameplay for some folks. For some folks, you never do Oblivion or Dawn. So it's just, there's just way too much crap that you are basically required to upgrade in order to get anything of value. And for that reason, I have to lower it a little bit. Now, there are also incredible plateaus because of this. Basically, you reach certain thresholds and then you don't improve. You can buy hundreds and hundreds of dollars worth of USB. A $100 pack of USB is, I think, 7,000, just regularly 7,000 USB. You can spend that immediately like immediately. We can go back to military rehearsal right here. So this is 824. Just upgrading this a couple of times, getting Siege Attacker Might for just shooters is going to cost you $100. So you can spend tens of thousands of dollars and basically not get stronger. So yes, USB incredibly strong. The difference between a free-to-player and somebody who, is max USB is obviously huge. But that's not necessarily what I'm going for in this video. What I'm going for is if you could pick a pack, if you just had a free range of, okay, I just want this resource, like the 7,000 USB versus, some of the other stuff higher on the list, I would prefer the other stuff or picking the other stuff first. So again, leave your comments down below if you completely disagree. There is definitely oversight. I understand, okay, my USB is a little higher. So I'm kind of in a range where it's like I'm comparing the USB against super whales and not necessarily like free to play to small spenders. So let me know your thoughts. This is the one that I figure will be most controversial. Coming in at number 3, we have defense plans. And I know you're going to be like, dude, are you kidding me? Defense plans are way, way worse than USB. But I disagree. They're one of the best resources in the game because they are required for unlocking T11 troops. Now, T11 troops are incredibly strong. Most of the people watching this video do not use T11 troops or have never used T11 troops besides Champion Duel. If you want to see the strength of T11, just do Champion Duel. Don't use your T11 troops. You're not going to win. That's basically how it is. They're ridiculously strong. They're insanely expensive. In order to even have a usable amount of them, you need to get pretty high in the yesterday tech, which will cost defense plans, and then you need to buy titanium particles, I believe, to train them. So 99% of players are never going to use these troops, but that doesn't diminish from the fact that defense plans are the only way that you can unlock these T11 troops. Now, generally, I would advise buying USB versus buying like the titanium particles for these T11 troops, but it just kind of is what it is. Now, these are a pay to play kind of resource, just like USB. There are very few ways of getting these for free, but some of the stats that you get from this are insane. As you get overall strength higher and higher and higher, you'll see like 200 stats, like 200 might, for example, is fairly common, and the bonus to the T11 troops is just absolutely ridiculous. T11 troops versus any other troop in the game, the T11 is winning every single time. It just doesn't even matter. So that's why I have defense plans so high. I realize that, yeah, again, 99% of players are never going to use them, which I think is unfortunate, but hopefully eventually one day, maybe they give a bunch of titanium particles or something. I don't know. So that's number 3 is defense plans. Now, number 2 might surprise you, and you might have overlooked it. It's war badges. Now, war badges, there's a few reasons why it's really, really, really strong. The tech bonuses that you basically get are pretty much the highest, bar nothing. As you can see here, 380 might from technology. My, USB, I'm getting 224. That's good. Obviously, my technology is higher. I have 40 million technology, but you can get this in the 500s. I'm not close to max tech. You can get this in the 500s just for might. You can get, obviously resistance, HP, damage, etc. The other thing to consider, however, though, is T10 troops. It's just like with defense plans. T10 troops are so strong. And most of us understand that. Most of us are able to use T10s. Again, T10s versus T9s, it's not a competition. I don't care if you have 5 million more USB power. Okay, you might win, but still, if you have 5 million more USB power and you're using T9s and someone is using T10s, that T10 player has a really, really strong chance. And 5 million USB is a lot more than unlocking T10s. a lot more cash than unlocking T10s. Now, there is a lot of junk in here as well. Like some of the mech stuff is like whatever, you can skip over it. A lot of the special operations stuff, it's just pretty whatever, like siege defender resistance. It's not great, but the cost at which these exist compared to the USB is like it's night and day. This, for example, 2.6K to level this up. Let's just say this node here is 50,000 war badges. That's like $20, maybe even less. I think you get 48,000 for $10 a week. So, I mean, yeah, we looked at the USB example where it's like you're going to be spending, I don't even know, thousands and thousands of dollars just to get a point of upgrade. War badges has to be number 2. It doesn't even matter. Cutting edge, before you max out your cutting edge and after you max out your cutting edge, is an absolutely ridiculous difference. So war badges are number 2. Now the best resource in the game, the most important resource in the game, super tickets. Now, of course, I'm the hero guy, you know. Of course, I'm going to say super tickets, but I honestly believe it. If you don't have good heroes, period, you lose. You're not gonna win with I don't even know, the Dragon's Rage, the Courageous, and War Boss. You know that you're going to lose. It just doesn't matter. So yeah, you have to consider super tickets. Again, it's something where it's like most players don't even think about it. Whenever you're buying packs, you're basically getting super tickets. Even if you're free to play, you're basically getting super tickets. Just from playing the game, you're getting super tickets. Older players definitely had an advantage. They've had so many seasons of just basically 2 new heroes over and over and over and over. But think about a player in the 1300s who just enters Season X, or the 1400s who's about to enter Season X, and there's like 40 heroes. You don't need them all, obviously. Usually there's like 20 good ones. But just getting those 20 good ones is going to cost you a lot of super tickets. It's required. It's probably the only thing in the game that's like totally, absolutely 100% required. If you just never use super tickets versus any other resource in the game, I think you would definitely be the weakest person ever. Now, super tickets are also a great system currently. It used to be very expensive. It used to be basically pay to win to unlock all the new heroes. Now, most people can unlock at least one of the new heroes every single season. Before it was like people would just pull every single season and get like one copy of one hero. They've increased the rewards for super tickets. The packs are so much cheaper. Before it was $100 for 30 tickets. Now it's $100 for like 120 tickets or something. I don't even know. 60 tickets, whatever it is. It's a lot more. And yeah, undisputedly the best resource in the game. Let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments. Let me know your list, or if you think I'm absolutely insane and you're like, dude, USB is the best resource in the game, you're dumb. And by you, I mean I'm dumb for putting USB so down in the list. Let me know. Hopefully my explanations made a little bit of sense of why I did it. If I could just pick, okay, I want max. The money is irrelevant. I just want to click a button and I have a max of something. It's definitely going to be USB. I just think it's like the most expensive thing you could probably get. And they just updated it to 40.7 or something like that, 41.7 million. So that's probably, I would probably just click a button and have max USB. But so maybe that's contradictory. Actually, I don't even know. If I had a base at 0, I'm not sure. It becomes a very, very complicated procedure. I'm just thinking of cost at this point and not necessarily like strength. So we'll leave it at that. That's another discussion for another day. Anyway, guys, thank you so much. It had been a while since I made a video. The voice is hopefully back for good. All right, guys, I'll catch you on the next one. More videos are coming because I had a bunch of stuff that I wanted to talk about, but I just couldn't. So stay tuned for all of that. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace and love, baby.